Hey, Pure Area. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I cannot believe it. I was gonna break this up into a couple of hold on one second. Like I cannot believe what I'm about to share right now, you guys. So let me make sure that my mic is on. Mm, 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 mm. This is a mess. Okay. You guys, I'm from California, but I love everybody. I love all type of artists, okay? But this one really I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. I'm about to reveal who X is. Please, if you already know, please do not put it in the chat, okay? The reason why I should have went live about this last night cuz this news just came out. Apparently, X I'm not going to reveal who it is right now, but I'm not going to start from the very beginning of who X is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at I'm going to start at chapter 9, okay? Because X was revealed. Please don't put it in the chat if you already know who X is. Happy Sunday. So I broke this book up into part 1, 2, and 3 when I first reviewed it, but it was a little censored because happy Sunday. It was a little censored because X was they would replace X with who it was because they wanted to save the identity of the celebrity or who it was. I thought it was Exhibit, but we're going to get into who X was. The people who were X is going to be revealed right now. It's already out there. Apparently, I just found out that Kim Porter's memoirs were um they were in the court. They read them in the courtroom, and they said that the memoirs that were read in the courtroom, the family came out and said that they were fake. However, they still brought them to the court, you guys. So I'm going to reveal the one starting from chapter 9 where they talk about so far, they've already talked about please, I'm asking you, please do not put the name in the chat. If you know who it is, do not do it. If you're catching the replay and this is not who it is, okay? Yes, they really did. They read this in the court, you guys. So, oh my God, I cannot believe it. I saw a news article that they did it and it's all over the place. Please don't look for it. Just stay here, hit that notification bell, like and subscribe. And we are going to get so the reason why I'm showing Jay-Z, not because Jay-Z is who X is, but I'm just showing him because that's who was talking about pretty much taking over with P. Diddy. So let's just get into it. I'm just without further ado, let's just play it. And you're gonna find out who X is. We are going to start with going back to Cali. Let's listen.
And returned the picture to the table, I was in awe. I knew he had a bad temper, but this was disgusting. I'll never eat or drink something after we have an argument again. Kadada and Kimora made their way back to Kadada's table to sit as Sean watched on quietly. Sean made small talk. Which songs you think they're going to give me an award for? As Kadada poured her drink, Sean's guard made his way up to the table. I think he stopped her from.
They're all at the award ceremony, and allegedly P. Diddy peed in the bottle, like the drink of Kadada. But then after this, you are going to find out who from the West Coast was did they I missed that. No, who what do you mean did they really? Not not Jay-Z. Jay-Z and P. Diddy, they were conspiring against just to try to take over the rap game. It wasn't anything like that. Or for him to somehow take get you know just I'm sorry. I just need to play this because I cannot wait to share with you guys. So you can go back and look at 1, 2, and 3, but I'm just getting right into it because this is the meat and potatoes of what everybody's been waiting for. Here we go.
From drinking as everyone else just sat and watched. They was a scandalous ass friends. If you was gonna sit there and watch me drink piss, Let's continue. Gene risks and cures Sean's wrath, if I'm right. Relieved, I replied, babe, your catalog is crazy. It could be a lot of songs. Sean glared at the table the entire night. Chapter 9, going back to Cali. We had just had a wild night. It was after one of Sean's infamous parties. Everyone was there, and we not only had threesomes, but we also swapped partners. Our sex life was crazy, but I got to do things with Sean I would never have been able to do with a straight man. Sean cared about me, but it was becoming more and more obvious that he preferred men. I was beginning to think I was there more to cover his wild desires than because he really wanted to be with me. He was like Caesar, every woman's man and every man's woman. But true.
Okay, so you guys, I hope you're listening because you are about to be shocked or maybe not shocked about who we thought it was. And let me tell you, I thought it was between Ice Cube and Exhibit, but we will find out who it is. Oh my goodness.
Truthfully, at that stage, I was becoming okay with that. I woke up and left the bedroom where I was with Jada, and he happened to be coming out of the bedroom. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? He happened to be coming out of the bedroom with Snoop and Will Smith. Yes, Snoop attended the parties from time to time. I could see him and Will kind of snuggled on the bed. I was grateful I wasn't asked to join in that room.
Did you hear what I just heard? Will Smith and Snoop Dogg. I repeat, he came out the room with Will Smith and Snoop D-O-double-G. Okay, apparently he is puffing on more things than we think. I am shocked, but anything is possible. You never know. If you missed it, Snoop and Will Smith came out of the room. This was read in the court. Okay, let's continue. Hey, Kalina.
I really didn't like Snoop. Now you guys got your answer. Everyone who speculated allegedly that X was Snoop. Let's go on. Sean smiled when he saw me. Good morning. Here at the orgies, he wasn't affectionate. He didn't have to pretend. He couldn't walk straight. I knew how he felt. We've had sessions playing with each other's anal cavities. I wanted to be home before Quincy woke up, so I told him, I'm getting ready to go. Let's have a cup of coffee first. This man, he wanted to talk. I didn't know what it was about. But in situations like this, I really didn't have a choice. He was becoming more violent when he didn't get what he wanted. And I didn't really want to fight. So I sat down. But before we started talking, Snoop came out the room. Sean was wearing boxers. Snoop was in his birthday suit. Snoop addressed us, morning. When he turned around and closed the door, there was a dried cum stain on his back.
Allegedly.
Snoop walked over, pulled a chair. Oh my God, I can't even act like I can't picture that on somebody's back. Oh God. Remember, hey, some people say this book is her writings. Some people say it ain't. But I'm going to say allegedly. Let's
Allegedly.
continue. Snoop walked over, pulled a chair out to sit down next to us, and lit up a blunt.
Okay, yeah, Kalina. Allegedly. Allegedly, y'all.
Sean stretched, smiled, and said, "This East Coast West Coast beef is more lucrative than I thought, but it's getting dangerous." Snoop responded, surprised. "Business first thing in the morning? Damn, cuz, you own it. But you know you don't got nothing to worry about. You got a pass, daddy." Snoop smiled coldly. Sean apparently, ooh, okay, let's go. Sean apparently has something to talk about with Snoop as well because he said, "I can't protect everybody, especially if someone is no longer going to be on my label." It was apparent Snoop was taken aback by this turn of events by his reply. "Sean, are you saying what I think you're saying?" Sean continued, "It's taxing on my resources to protect people. Someone that isn't 100% on my team can't get 100% of my protection." What the hell is going on here? What does Sean want from me? This morning is turning out to be way more than I expected, and I have to go. Quincy will be looking for me. Meanwhile, Snoop apparently wanted clarity. So, to be clear, if something happened, Snoop made quotation marks with his fingers, to one of your artists that was leaving your label anyway, it would be considered, he makes another set of quotation marks, out of your control. Is that what you're saying? Wait a minute. Can they be talking about Chris? Is Sean saying he won't protect Chris? At this point, I was too young, too naive, too hungover to understand that this was not a lack of protection. This was a hit. Where did this come from this morning? But an older, wiser me understands now what I did not comprehend all those years. Sean was just getting to the real reason that he had Snoop there. The world was about to lose B.I.G. Snoop laughed. "You a cold MFer." Sean said, "Why the F should I protect someone that isn't going to stick around? I made him. That end should be worshiping the ground I effing walk on." I was thinking Sean's ego is rearing its ugly head, and I wanted to get out of there, but instincts told me I need to tread carefully. So my next move had to be calculated. I don't really want any part of this, not even implicitly, but I was just dragged right into the middle of it. If what was happening here ever comes out, will I be held as an accomplice? But even as those thoughts crossed my mind, I couldn't just pretend this was okay. So I said, "But Sean, he hasn't left yet. They're just rumors. Are you going to let him die because of some rumors?" Sean glared at me, the anger in his voice obviously stemming from hurt as he said, "I know when I'm being betrayed. I am not killing anyone, but I am not protecting somebody that doesn't have my back 150%. F that." This was rolling out of control. My mind began to race. Is there a way to get through to him? Maybe I could use the finance route. Sean, he's bringing in so much money. You put so much money into cultivating him. Are you going to throw away all that money? That's when he revealed how far out this meeting was. If he leaves, he takes all the money I invested into creating him. Sean sighs. But if he can't protect himself and something terrible does happen, then the money I will make off his death will blow away all the money we made so far. I was perplexed. Sean, he continued, he's worth more to me dead than alive. Sean Combs is a calculated monster. Snoop chimes in. I get that, fam. A lot of people out there want B.I.G. dead too. Without your protection, he doesn't stand a chance in Cali. Chris is going to die. This is crazy. I dare not say anything else about it. Sean smiles and stands to walk over to the safe behind a picture. There he pulls out a bag marked with Snoop's name. He turns to Snoop and says, "That's why you're worth your weight in gold. You understand me. Here's a little something for you to take care of my people. Snoop smiles. Sean, I love you, baby. You know I got your back. Your problems are my problems. I'll make sure to have my people take care of your people. I need to get out of here. This is crazy. I attempted to leave again. Sean, I want to go get Quincy before he wakes up. Sean looked at me, responding, it's getting late. Give him a kiss for me. I'm going to get out of here, thank God. Snoop always with something to say. I love to meet the little tyke sometimes. Not a chance in hell. Something about this guy creeps me out. I forced a smile. That would be great. I made my exit. Damn. Why does she not like Snoop? Allegedly, this is Snoop. Why didn't she like this dude? It's a rhetorical question, really. Let's go on. Chapter 10. The lies you tell. At this point, the relationship between Sean and I had been off and on for quite a while. And we were off at this point. He had put his hands on me again, this time for something that didn't even happen. It was all in his head. When the phone rang, I picked it up anyway. Hi, Sean. Sean sounded trepidatious as he said, we've been broken up for a while this time. Yeah. He continued, I don't want anyone to know about he paused to search for the right word. Proclivities, I replied. So you don't want people to know about you being gay? He exploded. See, that's why I effing lose control on you. Goodbye, Sean. Wait. I was completely exasperated as I spoke. What, Sean? I'm sorry. You're always effing sorry. He took a deep breath. I have to do something to cover myself. I sighed. Do whatever you effing want, Sean. When you see this in the news, it's not real. This made me calm down a moment. What could he be talking about? He continued, I'm only doing it for the press. Doing what, Sean? After a long pause, he continued, she knows what this is. She is just pretending to cover me. Sean, what the hell are you talking about? Another pause. Publicly, I'm going to be dating someone else, a video girl. I laughed. Why would you do that? I have to cover myself. I was getting mad. I was actually angrier at myself more than at him. Why was I getting jealous? I was sitting there actually comparing myself to video vixens in my mind. They are thick, but look at my body. Did he prefer some light-skinned, big butt girls from videos? I calm myself. No, I know he likes men any damn way.
Right. He likes men any damn way. He likes everybody. Yes, they got tricked into selling their souls. So, yeah, allegedly. So you guys will see in news outlets that just just came out that they read this in the courtroom. And I'm wondering if yes, it is a lot. So the person that he's dating is going to be Jennifer Lopez. And his daughters walked out of the courtroom several times and they covered their eyes when the video came out that that when he assaulted Cassie. So they're going to get more into that. I do have this 1, 2, and 3, but this is the only X that they really didn't say. In the beginning, there was a couple of other X. He had to pretend to like video vixens. It was all an act. He had to pretend. He did not really like them. Mhm. That's right. Woo.
As I regained control, I asked, why the hell are you telling me? He sighed. I wanted you to find out for me first. Like I give a S. He came at me with his favorite line, you know I love you. It was getting old. I could only think to myself, here we go. Love is a big, strong word. I'm tired of him throwing it around and using it when it fits his needs. He's using it while he's sitting here telling me about dating someone else. I replied, you don't hit people you love, Sean. Love doesn't hurt. He sucked his teeth as he responded, come on, are you serious? That ish is for children. We aren't in effing high school. Sometimes things happen. That doesn't mean I don't love you. I wouldn't hit you if I didn't. Wait, that sounded wrong. You said exactly what you meant. He took a deep breath. There was an awkward silence. The fact I was still on the phone and waiting for him to speak meant he had the power. He was more cautious as he continued. He didn't want to lose that power. Kim, no one that I don't care about can bring that kind of emotion out of me. I wanted to say, is that how you talk to dudes after using butt plugs? But there's a line I dare not cross. Instead, I said, you say that while you're dating some other bitch? That's just for the public. I was done. It could be heard in my voice as I said, whatever, Sean, do what you need to do. Leave me alone. I'm never giving up on us. I responded to that emotional control attempt with the little resolve I could muster. I didn't even believe the words that came tumbling out of my mouth. Sean, there's no us anymore. Goodbye. Tell Quincy I miss him. His emotional manipulation was really driving me crazy. This time I said with much more conviction, goodbye, Sean. Bye, baby. I hung up. Manipulative bastard. Chapter 11, more problems. For a while, I was actually happy to see Sean gone. I was getting older and the sex parties were out of control. It was getting time for me to slow down. Quincy was getting older. I knew that if I kept going, the rumors circulated.
I think it was, he wanted her to say, "I love you," or all that. That's what I got out of it, that he wanted to reciprocate that word, "I love you."
We're going to eventually find a way to get back to him. What will he think of me? Chris is about to take his trip to California. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen out there, but I felt like Tiana was about to be an orphan. I knew I didn't want any ties to that. As I was sitting there contemplating all of this in my robes, sipping on wine on this Friday evening, my doorbell rang. I was not expecting company. I opened the door to see Sean. My heart skipped a beat. I was shocked but recovered quickly. I forced a smile, told him with a slightly slurred speech, hey, come on in. Ish. I am way more intoxicated than I thought. Sean entered looking suspiciously, then turned to me and smiled, saying, you haven't been returning my calls. I just wanted to make sure you're okay. I'm fine. He obviously was not here out of concern. He was checking to see who was here. Sean was controlling like that. Yes, even though we were not together and he was dating someone else, he started to make his way to the living room. I attempted to put a quick end to the visit, but it came out a little more directly than I intended. So, since you see I'm fine, you can let me go to bed now. Part of me wanted him to stay. As he entered the living room, I was forced to follow. Sean was very direct with his next inquiry. Is someone else waiting for you? No, but Sean, we're not together. You're dating someone else. I can F whoever I choose. With this, Sean became irate. He fiercely slammed me to the ground. Then he pulled out a 22 and set it on the end table. He turned to me calmly. I was scared. My voice quivered as I pleaded to him. Sean, please stop. Quincy is here. How did we get here? How did we get to the point that he was in my living room threatening me with a gun? He knelt on one knee and got right in my face to say, you're mine. You don't have a choice in that now. I can't live without you. He stood up, composing himself. I was terrified as I whimpered, Sean, that's not love. Sean picked up his gun and cocked it. He looked at me almost thoughtfully and asked, have you ever heard, if I can't have you, no one can? Sean, please don't. Please. Quincy, we're here. Sean smiled and put the gun away, saying, Oh, this is just for dramatic effect. I would never shoot you. If I was going to kill you, no one would trace it to me. You know how many people I've had to take care of over the years? It will be quiet, something in your food or drink, something that will never get back to me. I wouldn't shoot you. Do you understand? I could only nod, tears flowing down my cheeks. He looked at me thoughtfully as he reached down to help me up. I could do nothing but agree. He's a terrifying monster. Now he wanted to smooth it over, and I had to go along with it. What else could I do? Listen, baby, I don't ever want to hurt you. You know I really love you, or I would have moved on. Thinking about living my life without you is just too hard. If someone ever tried to hurt you, I would kill them. My back hurt from where I hit it on the table when he shoved me. All I could do as he helped me up was nod that I understood through my streaming tears, which he wiped. He looked towards Quincy's room. Let me say goodnight. No, Sean, please. He, thinking quickly, he has to get up in the morning. Sean looked at me with an unreadable look. He was studying me. Okay, I'm gonna go. Shakily, I walked him to the front door. This is over, thank God. He kissed me. I didn't want him touching me, but I couldn't refuse. Kiss Quincy for me. I tried to keep my composure as I replied, Sure, Sean. He opened the door to leave, the bodyguard that was waiting outside escorting him to the car. This was far worse than I realized. Why would he need a bodyguard at my front door? How was he anticipating this go? After I shut the door, I had another drink. For tonight, the nightmare was over. I sipped on my wine and cried. The next few days, he sent dozens of flowers. He brought Quincy expensive toys. He didn't want me, he wanted me to keep his secrets. I'm trapped. He has the authorities under his thumb. I can't go to them. This is like a gangster movie. How high does his power go? How far is
Wow, thank you for that fact. Y'all do y'all do know ingesting baby oil causes pneumonia. No, we don't. I did not know. So thank you for letting us know about that. Interesting. And she died of that. And several other people allegedly to well, it's not allegedly he died to with from having pneumonia, but a couple of people that were in her life before she died of pneumonia allegedly.
his reach? The FBI, the CIA, who is corrupted or wouldn't get silenced by their upper chain of command? Can anyone help me or my
Pineapple.
child? Eventually, he found his way back to my bed. I had no choice. Now, the Diddy's lawyers are saying that things are getting leaked. I'm wondering if someone intentionally doing this so there can be a mistrial. Something to think about. Let's go on. Chapter 12, A Mama's Love. The calamity that ensued between the death of Biggie shook the East Coast. It rocked me as well. Sean could have stopped it. He was implicit in it. He was a contributor. He knew it was going to happen and didn't stop it. This was his friend. They were not nearly as close as he would have had the public to think, but still, as far as Sean was concerned, we were great. To the public, we were just having the off and on relationship of a normal couple. And I probably just seemed like a money hungry hoe. But the truth is, I just got used to not having a choice. Today, I recognize it for what it was, Stockholm Syndrome. I was at his beck and call and had become comfortable with it. Quincy had everything he could ever want, with the exception, of course, of a normal parental figure. That is why this chapter is so powerful for me. A mother's love is so real. One night I was out with my boyfriend. Yes, we were on again, and we were joined for dinner by none other than Miss Wallace. Sean looked over as security allowed Miss Wallace to approach the table and sit. Miss Wallace spoke with a smile. Hello, Sean. Hi, Kim. I smiled the best I could. What a situation. For all intents and purposes, she is sitting with her son's killer. I hope my voice didn't betray my feelings as I said, Hi, Miss Wallace. But Sean smiled also as he said, Hello, Miss Wallace. What can I do for you? When I got your call, it sounded urgent.
Kim Porter's Lost Words. I don't know if it is published, but there's a couple of versions of it, and this is the second version that I found. But I haven't found where you can buy it. So it may be, you know what? I'll let you know when I find it. I don't know where you can buy it. I'm just listening into it through people who got it off of wherever they found it. But I just found out that it was read in court.
He was able to appear as if he was smiling warmly. This was the creepiest situation in my entire life. She looked at Sean with pleading eyes. I know this isn't your problem, but things have gotten kind of hard. I was hoping that you could send some of that money Chris made with you this way. Sean shook his head. That's not something I can just do. There are attorneys and accountants. Can I maybe help you out with a little something to get you past the hump? Sean reached into his pocket to dig for his wallet. I haven't even seen how much Chris left.
So if you're just now joining and you are watching from the bushes, I wanted to know who X was allegedly. And if you don't know, it was revealed that X, and it's now revealed with the public. I just saw some news articles that X was allegedly Snoop Dogg from the West Coast. Snoop Dogg and Will Smith were involved allegedly with P. Diddy. He was the artist that allegedly had the C stain on his back. It's on Amazon. Thank you. So if you want to know where to get this, it's on Amazon, a place where you can buy fake GEDs and amongst other things. So you can get Kim Porter's Last Words on Amazon. Thank you for that information, Pierre. This was the alleged artist, you guys.
It's going on 2 years. Just how long is this going to take? Sean signed as a reply. These things are difficult, Miss Wallace. I don't know. The attorneys don't make this easy. Miss Wallace pushed further. I don't understand what's so difficult. He worked for you. He made his money. Where is it? Sean shook his head as if saddened by what he was saying as he continued. It's not like I can just give you his money. You're entitled to certain amounts, and they are just trying to figure out what that amount is. I don't mean to sound cruel, but it wouldn't be fair to me to just give you tons of money. You got rich off my son. Now
That is so wrong. He says it's not fair to me, and he is so rich. It's so rich. It is sad and heartbreaking. Yes. Yes. Or you laughing out about this about Snoop Dogg? I know. He is the one who had the C stain on his back. So since he had I'm just guessing because I mean, just from what I hear on the actual streets on there, you know, how grown folks talk about things in the LGBT community. I don't know who, but it doesn't matter. Just from the description of him having the C stain, it's I'm guessing that Snoop was not a power was a power bottom possibly. I don't know what a power bottom would be, but maybe not a power bottom, maybe a bottom. So that's who it was, allegedly, you guys. Snoop D-O double G was the bottom for either P. Diddy or Will Smith, allegedly. Okay. Crickets, crickets, crickets. I know.
you're keeping all of his money? Sean kept his cool as he replied, I'm afraid business isn't cut and dry, Miss Wallace. I pay for publishing, publicity. I mean, in all actuality, if I'm going to be straightforward, Miss Wallace, Chris probably owed me money. I won't know until it's all worked out. The anger in Miss Wallace's voice barely overshadowed the pain, or perhaps it magnified it as she uttered the only words she could muster: "You bastard." Shana didn't flinch. He just said, "Look at the contract. I am honestly trying to get him as much as possible out of it. But I have investors. I can't just take money that doesn't belong to him and start giving it away."
Okay, let's just pause a little bit. We got to go back and talk about Snoop, okay? We got to talk about Snoop D-O double G for a little bit. Let's put his picture back up on the screen, on the big screen. Now, the reason why I want to bring Snoop up is because I don't know. First, let me bring up Pac. May he rest in peace. May he rest in peace. He was so fine. Anyway, Pac always had a problem with Diddy after he got shot in New York. And also, Pac had a problem with Snoop because Snoop was acting as if he wanted to squash the beef with the East Coast. If you guys go see the movie, I forget what it's called, but it has Suge Knight in it. Maybe it's the Pac movie. I think it is. I saw a clip where he is telling Suge Knight he needs to check Snoop because Snoop is pretty much playing cool with Bad Boy. And according to this memoir, the reason why Snoop was cool was because Snoop was allegedly getting that back blown by either P. Diddy or Will Smith, being an ultimate power bottom or just a bottom. And it really makes me think about all of there is also a interview when I think Snoop is in it and Pac, and Snoop is saying how he don't got a problem with the East Coast or whatever, and I know Pac was looking at him like, "Ninja, are you crazy?" And this was after he got shot. So there was always some side eye at Snoop and his loyalty to Pac, even though in the public he acts like that was his homie. He loved him some Pac. But did you? Pac was not gay for pay, but it looks as though allegedly Snoop was. Okay, let's get into these comments here. Mm-hmm. I know. Oh, hell nah is right. There are 3 books. Mm-hmm. I know. Get all of them. I told my husband that he thought I was out of my mind. Nobody wants to believe it. But when you think about it, over the years, Snoop has been really playing it safe. He's an OG, but he's been playing it safe. Doing shows with Martha Stewart. Think about it, guys. He's over here. He has so many. Why does why does Snoop out of all the rappers, I know that THC is legal in many areas of where we are, where we live. However, why is it that Snoop is allowed to he's on Sesame Street, he has all these extra deals that not many people would have. I mean, he has children's shows, okay? I forget what they're called, but I think he's been favored because of his willingness, allegedly, to get that back blown out. Okay, let's continue. Rest in peace, Snoop. Rest in peace, Biggie. fair use is in effect. Let's continue.
Miss Wallace exploded in response. You know good and well Chris didn't owe you a damn thing. Sean stared at her straightened eye, unwavering, and said, he would have started making a profit after a few years. His money until his album sales paid for studio time, music videos, publishing, and marketing would have come from doing shows. I'm sorry. He isn't here to make that money. I miss him. Her response was deadpan. Did you kill my son?
Oh, yes.
Momentarily.
This one gets me when she said, "Did you kill my son?" Why would Snoop be for P? Yeah, BG. Thank you for G for P when he was on death row. It's weird. Snoop definitely climbed the ladder all the way to the top. From the bottom to the top, he definitely climbed that ladder. He started from the bottom and then he went to the top. Mhm. Olivia was on live today. She was back being yes, I witnessed it. Thank you for the information. I saw that. I know. All right. From yes, that's where started from the bottom. Now he's here. Mhm.
Stung into silence. Sean didn't immediately respond. She asked him again, her voice quivering. Did you? He started to say, Miss Wallace, she would not be redirected.
Let me just say this. I saw a clip of Drake. Drake isn't stupid. Let me tell you what Drake was doing. Drake was sitting next to Diddy, and Diddy had some type of liquid in his hand that wasn't a drink. And Drake had his drink in his hand, and Drake was covering his drink and had his eyes on Diddy like, "Nah, ninja, you are not about to slip me a roofie." He ain't stupid. Okay? So, yes, a ninja getting his black blown out is disturbing. It sure is, but that's what allegedly happened. Shonda, he is the one that had the C stain. If you're just now joining us, I know I've said it over and over and I sound like a broken record, but this is what you will hear in the days to come. And when you get off of here, I want you to Google it. Google it, and you will see several articles and shorts that will allege that D.O. is the West Coast rapper who allegedly slept with P. Diddy and Will Smith and got his back blowed out. Okay. That's what you will find. Let's continue with this commentary. Very shocking. And also, it was played in the courtroom. Credible news sources that I found online. I'm not citing them right now, but yes, allegedly. Mhm.
Answer the question. I was not used to seeing Sean on the defensive. No, of course not. She looked at him with spite, the anger in her voice enough to send shivers up my spine. As she replied with a menace only a mother can, I don't believe you, Sean. Sean looked at her with a sadness that I knew in my soul to be fake, although looking at him with
So at this part of the book, he was being asked by Christopher Wallace's mother if he was the one who had something to do with her son's murder. And she said, "I do not believe you." And She's no longer with us. May she rest in peace. Tupac's mother's no longer with us. May she rest in peace, and may they get justice for both of their deaths, Biggie and Pac. Mm, mm.
Without context, anyone would believe him as he replied, "I'm sorry to hear that." Today, I know he was able to muster that false sincerity because he's a sociopath. Back then, I thought it was compassion. With no more words, Miss Wallace stood and left. Sean watched her exit with disbelief. Not knowing what to do, I placed my order. Dinner that night was long and silent. I feared for Miss Wallace's life. Sean is most dangerous when he feels threatened. No, she could not physically threaten him, but this threat was very real. If she goes public with her accusation, Sean's image would be damaged. I have felt for myself the extents he would go to in order to protect that image. Chapter 13, have some faith. The fact of the matter is, Sean was a complete.
I agree with you on that one. The fact that he was just had his hands into so many things and he would try anything. He was into everything, you know? Um, he's dirty, allegedly.
Complete control freak. He was absolutely the worst. But of all the things he did for control, this might have been one of the most despicable ones. We were in a bad boy office one evening, sitting in the lounge area enjoying a meal. Sean was smoking one of those big cigars he liked when Faith entered and sat down with us. She seemed relaxed as she said, "Hey guys." I smiled. I never had any bad vibe from the marvelous Faith Evans. We never talked about the wild time the three of us shared at one of Sean's parties. I gave her a hug. "Hey girl, what's up?" Sean smiled and asked, "Hey, what brings you out?" She addressed Sean, saying, "Look, when you asked me to hook up with Chris, I understood. You needed to control him. I felt honored that you would choose me to monitor one of your most valued assets. Chris is sweet." Sean laughed and said, "Honestly, I knew you would be good. Made the big man feel loved." I don't feel good about all this, Sean. Sean got that look in his eye he gets before he blows his top. Faith saw it also. She treaded carefully. "Sean, you know I'm as loyal as they come." Sean leaned forward unintentionally threateningly and said in a low tone, "Yeah. But Sean, Chris and I had a child together." Sean leaned back. He let out a deep breath. "I'm going to take care of you. You're not like Chris. You're loyal." Faith had a tear in her eye as she responded, "He didn't have to die." This is getting very touchy. Did she know? Did she suspect? Was she trying to find out if Sean intentionally killed Biggie? I wanted to ask, but of course there was no way of doing that. This is so crazy. Sean sighed and replied, "He didn't. Don't get me wrong, I miss him. But he was leaving me anyway. No one cares about my pain." Classic narcissistic Sean.
Yes, he's so
It's
narcissist.
all about him. I was sickened for a moment, but his next sentence made me feel for him anyway. I wanted to share all this with him. He was my man. Faith couldn't hide the anger that flared in her eyes, but she knew who she was talking to. She was careful as she spoke. "Sean, you have your friends you share things with." Sean sat forward again, this time with malicious intention as he queried, "What the F is that supposed to mean?" "Chris had no one, only you." Sean lost it. "That fat F and that other piece of ish I had you F?" I interjected in shock. "You had her F, Pac?" Sean glared at me as he answered, "Yes, F and Pac. Those MFers were going to try to start their own label and compete with me. Me, after all I did for that fat F? Nah, I wasn't using resources to protect that mother effer. No effing way." As Faith started to cry, Sean looked at her and softened slightly. He spoke a little calmer. Look, I didn't hate him. I was hurt, but I didn't hate him. I'll make sure you and Tyshawn are taken care of. Without words, Faith got up to leave. As she turned, Sean spoke softly. Faith. She ignored him. He called her again. Faith. She exited quickly. Sean just looked at me and said, damn. I really didn't know what to say. Sean just told Chris' ex-wife and daughter's mother that he wouldn't protect her husband because he was going to leave Bad Boy. From a business perspective, I didn't disagree with Sean.
Yeah, it does seem like from this memoir that Faith knew, but I don't think obviously she wanted him to die, but she was put on the board of the game chess, not checkers, to make him move a certain way. And it seems as though he set up the whole situation with Faith to hook up with Pac. And that's where Hit 'Em Up came from. And it was all played out because he did not want Biggie and Pac to get together because it would have probably been better than Death Row and Bad Boy combined, I think.
Done there. If you're leaving and creating competition for him, why would he spend resources on you? So I hugged Sean, but I also knew he didn't have to send Chris to California. I wondered if he realized that he sentenced him to death.
Yes,
He hugged
he
me
knew.
back with tears in his eyes as he asked, how the F am I the bad guy? Huh? I effing do nothing but bust my ass to make everyone live comfortably. And I'm supposed to just let ends walk all over me too? As I held him in a comforting embrace, I replied, no, baby. He took me right there on the couch. Like I said, Stockholm
Right.
Syndrome. Chapter 14, Outshine. This evening, I was at Sean's house. Snoop had just left for his patent see ya cuz. Oh, I don't remember this. Let's go on. Quincy was at a friend's house. It was some alone time. I don't remember if we had something planned. We were just having drinks when the doorbell rang. He went to answer it, and the yelling could be heard from the other room where I sat. It was definitely Jennifer's voice shouting, Sean, what the F? J-Lo barged in. Relax, relax. Why the hell did you have to start shooting? Isn't that what we have bodyguards for? Normally, when these kinds of situations arrive, I remain quiet and just listen. I play my position, you could say, but I wasn't paying attention to the news for the last day or so, and even though it would be the only thing anyone would talk to me about for months, no one has spoken to me about it yet. So I entered the foyer asking, what's going on? Jennifer exploded at me. What's going on? What's going on? This end just shot up the damn club. My jaw dropped looking back and forth between the two. Sean spoke soothingly. Jen, you gotta calm down. Jennifer was having none of it. She continued, calm down. Calm down. You shot at a bunch of innocent people, Sean. Sean placed his hand on her forearm. It's a bonding technique. He was shrewd in handling her. He does this to me too. Even if you know what's happening, it works. It's an intimate contact without being personal. He was aiming to disarm her. This did not seem to immediately sway Jennifer as she continued. Why the hell do you think Biggie's replacement will take the fall for you? Biggie's replacement? Wait, could she be talking about? I had to know. Are you talking about Shine? Jennifer didn't even look at me as she responded. Yes, effing Sean. Sean continued in a calm voice. Relax. The situation's under control. Jennifer was not coming down. She went on. They contacted my attorney for my statement. And there are a lot of witnesses, Sean. There's no way you're going to get away.
Okay. So There are 3 of these books on Amazon if you wanna go purchase it. If you wanna go back and listen to the version of 1, 2, and 3, I have that, on my, recently uploaded on lives. I'm gonna stop it here. We can do part 2 tomorrow. But yeah, we will finish this another day. I appreciate all of everybody watching. I have more people here than I did my last 5 up lives. I really appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Again, if you're catching it on the I, it's not a joke, but I'm gonna say the back end of this, and you really want to know what happened and you want to hear it all in detail, please go back and catch the replay. It will be so unfortunate if all this is really true. In part 2, you're going to find out who P. Diddy wanted Kim to be with when, for one last time. For some reason, he felt like these X parties were something he had to do, but I just think it was something that he was addicted to doing. Just to be very clear, Pac was not G for P. Uh, Unfortunately, it seems as though it's questionable that Albie Shore might have been involved, but never was in a compromised position, but in some way involved. And I will see you guys in the next video where we will pick up where we left off, where they talk about the incident that happened in the club where J-Lo was involved. Allegedly, she was involved. I don't think she got in trouble for it. And Shine took the fall and did a lot of time. So I will see you guys in the next video. And please hit that notification bell, like, and subscribe. And I will see you later. Please comment down below in the replay of what you think so far about this. Again, you will hear this in the news. This is breaking news of the West Coast rapper, not Tupac, not Exhibit, but allegedly D.O.G. was the alleged ex-West Coast rapper that was in possibly a compromised position and had the C stain on the back of his shirt. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. SC, Pine, Pure Area 51. Thank you for being here. Everybody here, thank you for being here. And thank you, Bushwatchers. Mary Reed, thank you. And I will see you guys again later. Right. Mace knew something was up. Mace was like, I'm giving it all up and I choose God. I agree with you, sis. I agree with you completely. 100%.